Hi, and welcome to Negotiate Value Lesson 6. So what do you think about anchoring? Would you agree with me that it is the most widely used negotiation tactic? Would you agree that it's extremely effective? Have you seen the way that anchoring plays into how you think about things? Well, wherever you see TV ads or radio or print or email or internet or anything that comes in the mail or whenever a seller is talking to you, what they're trying to do is establish what the worth is of what they're selling. They're trying to say, well, the value of this is up here. They're trying to say that's the benefit, and so anything you pay less than that is a great deal. Now, it's really helpful to be able to recognize anchoring, and I hope that that's what's happened as you've gone through the homework exercise. Of course, what we really want to do is to be able to defend against it. And that's what we're after in this entire next module of the course. This module is called Know Thy Benefit. And we're going to work on the skill of understanding what your benefit is, how to define it, how to quantify it, so that you're not dependent upon what the seller says this is worth. You can determine that yourself, and that's one of the key strategic skills to negotiation, to be able to understand what something is worth to you, and then to base your next decisions and the way you communicate based on that. So, know thy benefit. The first thing we're going to learn about the benefit is that it's not absolute. So I can't say, hey, this desk is worth $200, and that's what it's worth. Now, I can say I pay $200 for it, but when I say what is it worth, that means what the benefit is, and that benefit is not absolute. There are two key aspects to the benefit. It has to be personal, and it has to be perceived. So personal meaning it can't be somebody else's benefit, it has to be mine, right? If this desk is worth something to me, it's got to be worth it to me. And then perceived means that benefit has to relate to the rest of the world in the marketplace. So let's take one at a time and start with personal and go a little deeper. And what I usually do when I'm telling this story or teaching about the personal aspect of benefit is I reference a Seinfeld episode. There's a Seinfeld show which illustrates this beautifully. And in the show, Jerry he's going to go on TV, and he's somehow agreed to wear a shirt that's provided by one of Kramer's friends, and some of you know where this is headed. The shirt is a puffy shirt. It's called the puffy shirt episode. It's kind of blousy and drapey, and Jerry sees it and he recoils. And he says, I don't want to wear that, that's terrible. And then Kramer tries to sell the shirt to him a little bit. He says, hey, pretty soon everybody's going to be wearing these shirts. It's a great shirt, you'll look like a pirate. And then Jerry replies, but I don't want to be a pirate. Now, I didn't do that scene justice, but what I did is I provided the link to you in the email homework. So if you already clicked on that link, you may have watched it and been wondering now, how does this connect to the lesson? So let me explain how it does. That's a great illustration of the benefit being personal, the need for the benefit to be personal, because Kramer can sell this idea of the pirate shirt all he wants, but if Jerry doesn't want to look like a pirate, then that's not a benefit to him. So the benefit can't be in the abstract. It's not absolute. It has to be a benefit to you as the buyer. We'll get into that in a minute in the homework, and I'll also tell another story about movie popcorn and what the benefit is for that, sort of keeping with the entertainment theme. But now I want to talk about the other way in which the benefit is not absolute. So it has to be personal, it has to be perceived. And I think of this as the personal is how it relates to you, perceived is how it relates to the rest of the world in the marketplace. What's a good mattress worth? A good mattress. Now, I can sell a mattress. I can tell you that it's incredibly important to get a good night of sleep. Think about what that will mean for your energy the next day. Think about what that will mean for your career progression if you have enough energy to put in a lot of good effort at work. You know, it relieves back pain you have. It improves your marriage. I mean, I can make a case that a great mattress is worth $10,000. And maybe it is. You know, some people do pay that much for a mattress. But if there's a mattress for $10,000, and then across the street that same mattress is selling for $800, then what happens? That perceived benefit comes way down, right? It's no longer worth the $10,000 because somebody else is selling it for a lot less. I like to think also of the industry of telecommunications. I used to work in that field, and I worked in the field at the time where selling long distance minutes for 8 cents a minute was a really good deal, and people lined up to get that kind of rate. Now, then what happened? Well, the price went down from 8 cents to 7 cents to 6.54, and nowadays, people basically won't pay anything extra to talk long distance. But communication is not less valuable than it was 20 years ago. And talking to your loved ones is certainly not less valuable than it used to be But what's happened? What's happened is around the world, communications costs have come way down, then the prices have come way down, and so the perceived benefit has come down with that. And that's what happens. The benefit must be perceived. Now, we're going to go a lot deeper in perceived and how to figure out what the marketplace offers when we go to the next module, where we'll be talking about how to push the potential, to create more options, and to develop those options. Right now we're going to stick with this aspect of the benefit being personal, and that's what the homework is about. So let's jump to the homework now. And I've got mine right here that I already started on. And the first part of the homework, the assignment, is to list some purchases. Now, actually, these don't have to be purchases. These are ads that you've seen. And we want to list the source of the ad, what the product was, what the benefit is that they were selling in the ad, or the feature, and then how important it is to you. And that's really the focus of this homework exercise today. So I'm going to run through a few here. My first one was an email I happened to open up. Somebody promoting a networking dinner that was coming up that they were selling. And they were really pushing the gourmet food at the dinner. For me, that's just not that much of a motivator, so I ranked that as a 2. My personal importance on that was pretty low. Now, I also heard a radio ad for replacement windows, and they were really pushing the energy savings that came with these new windows, which were more efficient. And to me, personally, that's in the middle. That's about a 5 in terms of importance. So again, it's not important here whether you're really going to go through with this purchase. We don't need to focus even that much on the product or the benefit. What you need to do is tie that benefit to a ranking for you. How important is that benefit to you? That's really the point of this exercise. A third one, a print ad, a flyer for a Mexican restaurant where they were featuring these new pork enchiladas. They looked delicious, and I put that as an 8. That's an important benefit to me. An internet ad for a new mortgage. And of course, the attribute they were pushing on the mortgage was the rate, and a low rate is also an attribute that resonates with me, so I ranked that as an 8. An online ad for Netflix offering a free month, but for me the free month isn't worth that much, so I gave it a 3. Mailer for a newspaper subscription where they were selling the stories and say they got the best reporting, the best stories, and I put that as a 5. And then finally, a TV awards show, and the real focus there was the artists that were performing. They sounded pretty good, some of the artists I like, so I put that as an 8. So again, the purpose of this homework is not to really evaluate whether you're going to buy something or not. It's just to think through what they're selling, what the attributes or features are of these different sales, and then connecting that to your personal value as a benefit. So the point here is to judge the benefit. Is it really important to you, so-so, or not important at all? Okay? Now, that brings me to a story I want to tell about buying popcorn at the movies. So you go to the movies and you like popcorn, as I do. You want to have some when you watch the movie, but you're presented with the question. And you know what the question is. It's how much are you going to buy? Are you going to buy the small, the medium, or the large? And of course, when I say small, medium, or large, when it comes to popcorn, we all know, because it's promoted in every movie theater that I've ever been in, that the large is what? It's the best value, okay? So we're going to connect that now to our definition of value, because the movie guy is saying, hey, this is the best value, the large popcorn. And by the way, large popcorn is about this big. So this much popcorn, right? So now I'm tempted to buy this. So what is it really? It's the best unit price. If I put it down to cents per ounce, that would be the cheapest in the movie theater. Now talk about, value and relative value. I mean, can you believe they're saying value there where they're charging $8 for a big tub of popcorn? So that's kind of offensive in itself. But what's really the best value? Now, if you get the large, what ends up happening? What I do is I eat too much. I feel kind of sick afterwards. I throw a lot of it away. Then I feel guilty. Okay? That's not a good value for me. So if I think through what my benefit is, I would rather have a smaller tub of popcorn, be able to eat it all guilt-free, and even if I'm paying a little bit more per ounce, that's a much better benefit for me. So what I'm tempted to say when I go to the movies and I see the sign that says, this is the best value, or even worse, I have the concessionaire there tell me, oh sir, the large popcorn is the best value. What I want to say is, how can you know my value? Right? Because you don't know what my benefit is. My benefit is personal and perceived. That benefit relates to me, and it's only a great value if I put the benefit of a huge tub of popcorn way up high. Okay, that's my rant about buying movie popcorn. That benefit has to be personal and it has to be perceived. But if it doesn't connect with you, it's not a benefit. You think about going to buy a car and you sit down and you test drive the car and the car salesman's telling you, yeah, well, this has the sport package, it has the extra, rims or whatever they are, it's got the moon roof. That's all well and good, but if those things aren't important to you, they shouldn't drive the price any higher because they don't drive the benefit any higher. Now, in fact, you can use this in the negative, and some people do this as a negotiation tactic, right? And you can do it with full candor, or you can do it in a little bit of a bluff where you say, well, those things don't matter to me, I don't care about them. And in fact, that car's in blue, and I don't even like blue, so it's worth less to me. So I'll take it for, another $1,000 off, but I'm not going to do less than that. And that's one way to negotiate because, again, you're both moving that anchor up and down because you're moving where the perceived benefit is. So that's benefit being personal and perceived. And I know we're going to talk about benefit versus feature in the next lesson, so don't worry too much about what the benefit is. Just whatever's being offered in the sale, take that, evaluate that, and make sure you're connecting those benefits to how you perceive them and how you experience them because the benefit has to be personal.